Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. I will present, my topic is believing in prophets. Start with, a few questions. My methodology, asking questions and waiting from you to answer, rather than, trying to find answers. So let's start first, few questions. Think about a human being, like anyone among people, and suddenly claiming that I am a prophet receiving revelation from Allah, and you have to believe in me to be a Muslim or believer. So question, why believing in prophets? Or at the end, like they're human beings, right? Why believing in certain human beings, part of Iman, part of our belief system? The first question. Second, why God sent prophets? What's the purpose? And this is, although it's not written here, why not sending revelation to everyone, all people, and God reveals everyone rather than choosing one person and declaring the person as prophet? Why not sending wahi to everyone? Why choosing one specific human being and declaring such person as Rasul, Nabi? Why God send human prophets to human beings? Why not angels? Another question. Why we don't have the angel prophets? What happens if you do not believe or accept a few prophets, such as Musa, Isa, right? Today, let's say something improper about Prophet Musa. Do you think you lose your Iman? Okay, these are the questions. Since I like interactive session, if you have anything to say right now, say it or remain silent. By the way, do we have any mic here? No. When you speak, when you say something. Mahmud Hocam, do we have any microphone, anything? So pass around. Yeah. No. I'm asking questions, and maybe if they want to.
Okay. I forgot this. We need this one for internet.
Okay. Do we have internet now? Okay, anything. Varol abi, do you have anything in your mind? Please share it with us. Yeah. You're not here yet, then.
I think these are really good questions, and coming to mind, some of them I was thinking by myself, but the authentic and extraordinary question you asked, that why Allah didn't send, why God sent the human prophets to human, angels, some kind of restricted qualifications in their life. I mean, the mind and heart, being exposed to any kind of testing, any kind of qualifications, because they are at a stable level. The human being level is up and down. Prophets are necessary because I think it's one of the most important things that it's giving another opportunity to human being, and it's giving another message to human being. It can be done by a human being. Someone like you can do this, perform this. So if someone can do it as an example, so even if the worst conditions, there are some people being chosen like a prophet and messenger, and they test. So why, if they do that as a person, as a human being, you can do also. That's another thing. And then also in all the questions, the last answer, I believe I can say, Iman is a whole process. It's not a partial process. So you cannot say I have Iman. I believe 60% this, 70% this, or 40% this. We can't do that. Iman is a partial package, as the American says, and you will get the whole package. You know, there is no accept the whole package from the beginning of the humankind to the last prophet. We all show respect and we should believe them to be able to be part of the Iman. It's supposed to be 100% process, no matter what we can perform perfect or not. But at this, we need to show our intention to believe 100% all of them. I'm going to Mert.
I'm going to Samir.
Unfortunately, there is no one you can give to say something, sir.
Okay. That's a question actually I never thought about. Why doesn't God send angels to be the prophets? Maybe it's a human nature to accept people who are like us. I think we listen to people who are similar to us, and knowing maybe some of the human don't accept people who are not like us. And I think people in general will revolt against the angels. They will not listen to them because they're not the same. So I think the more common the prophets, the more human and the more approachable and real like us, the more we listen to them. Otherwise, we didn't think that they're foreigners and
Yes.
they don't represent us. That's just my thinking. I haven't really thought about it before.
That's both answers really good. I was thinking similar, because human beings, like we have certain feelings and just they never ever understand, such as being jealous, enmity, hatred, or selfish or whatever. The nature is inclined to worship Allah no matter what. But when it comes to human beings, the prophets, in order to be role model, I think they need to understand how people, they think, they feel. What are the obstacles in front of human beings? So they have to sense prophets. One of the attributes we're going to talk about, inshallah, is Isma. They're free from sins. They don't commit sins, but it doesn't mean they don't feel or they're free from such feelings. No, but you use their free will, irada, willpower. They control themselves. They always worship Allah against their nafs amara. evil, commanding self-honor. Anyway, let's start, and at the end maybe we can talk about these questions again. Just this interest certain people. Now let's move on, and at the end we do Q&A, inshallah. So everything starts, although this is not Zen, and Oraf. So if God did not create, he doesn't need anyone, any creation, any khalq. He wanted to be known, so he created the universe, everything within the universe, whether physical or metaphysical, and he wanted to introduce himself. That's, I think, the most important part, because without really understanding, so think about, you are the human beings, okay, and there is existence outside the world or the universe, okay, but who created the universe? Who created us? Why? And what's my purpose in this life? What will happen when I die? Is there any other life? And the purpose thing, what's my duty or duties? So a lot of questions that even the most intelligent person or wise people, they cannot really answer a whole bunch of different answers. They won't really satisfy anyone by their answers. But prophets, when they speak, they really address your mind, your heart, your feelings, whatever, like what Allah gave us. Really, whenever they speak, it's really related to fatana, but also the knowledge is coming from Allah, who created human beings. He knows what we need. Too many questions that really, we need prophets to find answers. Zili commands be considered intertwined. Anyone, Tekwini and Tenzili commands, few words, if you want to answer. If not, then we can move on.
Sure, I can, I guess, try. So the core of the question about the prophets, it's about communication, God's communication with human beings, and there is basically two different ways God communicates with us. One is through the signs, through the ayah in the world, and also he directly sends his message through prophets. That is, so the first one is the Takwini, and the second one is the Tanzili.
Really good. Thank you. Thank you. So the creation itself is a book, right? The entire universe is a book that we need to read. And also Allah sends his message, revelation, and directly addresses human being. But we need to connect one to another. They're not really from each other. So when we study whether Quran or the universe, we have to study both interconnected. If you separate one from another, like one famous scholar, right? Science is blind. I'm not sure if I said correctly. So this other thing, like we're talking about why we need prophets. Allah wants an understanding of its true form. So everyone think about, if there's no wahi, and we're trying to know who's Allah, if he has any name or attributes, essential qualities, there's no way human beings, they maybe thousands of different understandings, and human beings, they would, which one is true, this one or that one? But prophets, especially in the Quran, the word ad-din really referring to uluhiyya, that every prophet, essentials of, is same. Every prophet taught same thing, but the practice part of religion, of course, according to the time and conditions, they're different. But the core of religion, same, which is referring to the understanding of uluhiyya, Allah, and his names, attributes, essential qualities, shunat, so on. So we need prophet to have proper uluhiyya understanding. So we are mukallaf, right? One of the word in Islamic terminology, we are mukallaf, meaning some burden on us. We have to do certain duties. And the definition of religion, right? It's the divine system, which is established to bring happiness for humankind through, practicing what Allah commanded them, right? When they practice those rulings, religious rulings, they achieve happiness here and hereafter. So religion, there are rules. There are some duties, responsibilities. It's not something, although some people, they approach religion like when if you are Muslim, you lose your freedom because you become abd. Abd meaning servant. You're not free. You're not. There are a lot of restrictions saying this is halal, haram, and 5 times in a day you need to pray during Ramadan, month of Ramadan, especially summertime. Like you're not allowed to eat, drink. Oh, too many restrictions. Other people, they eat anything they want, or they do anything they want. No, is it the criteria in this world, or there are certain rules, even non-Muslims, as soon as they press or they violate those. Anyone? Hablas? Anyone? Feel free. Yes, Warla.
Human being is a servant. I think I remember saying human being is free, but on the other hand, they're Abdullah. They should show their abdan ubudiyya to Allah, because one of the names, one of the Allah is Allah created based on their fitra and their nature. And in the nature of human being, already this kind of worshiping, this kind of programs in the nature of Allah, and in the nature of there is the highest point of the freedom nature. So I think just want to repeat that again. Human being is a all like a seed, all is being a nature. So the nature actually is kind of the full.
I know there is one verse, ayah 30, and وَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ we know that you or be a dependent something. If you are a dependent of Allah, you will feel 100% freedom. If you are and you will follow whatever your desire, you will follow up your carnal desire, and you will be like the human beings. If you don't believe in Allah, if you don't belong to Allah, you will belong to your evil commanding selves. It will be more lower degree to you. It's really not, you will be like an animal or worse than that. So the best.
Anyone else? Yes. This question is asked Allah. Like even the word itself, out becomes slave. Yes, human beings by becoming a slave who practice religion you only worship Allah, you don't worship money. By Allah, the prayer, fasting, whatever. Why then he's asking us to, follow certain path, practice certain rules. It's really related to us. It's, when you observe fasting, you strengthen your free will. Allah invites people to free, then that they can really. So okay, beyond. Alam al-Ghaib, there's meaning certain people in certain time or other things such as Yawm al-Qiyamah, the Akhirah, afterlife, although many things we're not able to know until we see or we go there and Allah, shows us what they are. But the prophets, even before going there, they're describing, they're explaining that who is Allah, His names, attributes, Jannat, Jahannam, right? the many things that we learn from prophets properly without really, using your mind or trying. There's no room for, speculation. So prophets of Allah are the language translator and interpreter of beings and things. So they explain everything, why they are created, their purpose, the hikmah, wisdom, many things with the world, with this perspective, worldview. We see everything as servants of Allah, and everything has specific purpose in this life, and nothing random or nothing useless. Everything has hikmah. So he has made them guides, prophets, that do not mislead, leading to worship, servanthood, sincerity, and the abode of the hereafter. I'll go a little bit fast. I think I'm not sure how long. It's only 45 minutes or 1 hour. I already wasted too much time. So to cover, make sure to cover every slide, I'll go a little bit. Then at the end, inshallah, we do Q&A. We need a prophet to learn why we were created, where we came from, and where we are going. Whenever people fell into darkness after a prophet, God sent another one to enlighten them again. Think about Hazrat Adam, Hazrat Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, and many prophets between, Dawood, Sulaiman, and Isa, and the last prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every time Allah, وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ, always Allah sending a prophet to certain nation in certain time. But do we know all the names? No. Right? There are only 28 names. 3 of them we don't know if they're prophets or not. 25 prophets. But human history really long. And all the 25 prophets of Mesopotamia area or the certain area. But how about, China or Australia or, other even America? The history, right? Really long. It's not 1,000 years or two. The Indian people, they've been living here since long time. They must have someone who guide them. But we don't know if the Quran only saying many prophets they were sent, but not giving name. Maybe another question, not asking now, but later we can discuss why Quran only mentions prophets that are sent to certain area rather than every part of the world. This is maybe another question we can discuss. So by focusing on the last prophet, the pride of humanity, Sayyidun Nas, we will know the other prophets properly. Indeed, I'm not sure if you had conversation with people from other religions, that in real sense, like how we respect prophets, how we see them as best role models or perfect, innocent from sins, really Islam teaches us, really. Because when they speak with them, it's like anyone, the prophet, not someone special. It's any person, or sometimes there are some sins mentioned in their scriptures. Really, even ordinary person does not do that. Okay, God will speak about the universe and his purpose for making it. God will speak to being a being. Okay, the one person who's conscious and able to speak in return. So Allah wanted to show his art. The entire universe's exhibition. He wants to introduce himself through his art. Some art is intelligent beings. They are human beings, the best art of Allah, but at the same time, they're able to observe, understand, compare, even in limited sense, they create their own art. As soon as they, create some sort of art, they understand the infinite form of Allah's art. I'll just give you, we're constructing I'm not sure if anyone in the construction business, building, the apartments or site or whatever. But how about creating the entire universe, the world, the galaxies, or stars, many things? Who created them? God will speak to the one who can competently convey and represent God's word to others. So here, okay, we need to choose someone, or Allah chooses someone, but not anyone, not ordinary person, someone who's qualified, who has certain attributes. So if Allah is entrusting his message to someone, the person must be really well qualified. The carrying message or tabligh, conveying the message of Allah, the prophet should, for the one of the must be very, very intelligent person, right? Fatana, not ordinary, because a lot of people from different parts of life, some of them really intelligent, some, the low level or whatever. So you need to adjust explanation according to level of people, so everyone can get their share. If you speak so high, ordinary people, they don't get anything. This is not the purpose of wahi. Allah wants everyone to get their share, or to benefit from the wahi and practice what they learn in their daily lives. Okay, now let's talk about, so all prophets are examples of pure nature, examples of high morality, monuments of chastity and honor, heroes of safety, and examples of loyalty. So we're going to talk about, sidq, amana, fatana, but this is just introduction. Superior characters. They're not ordinary person, none of them. All of them, like, are very noble, high character. Serious attitudes that always promise confidence. They're never swerving direction. They're unchanging truthfulness. Their loyalty equal to that of angels. Their fortitude as far as the mountains, and their deep sense of servitude. These people also have perfect images and likenesses. By the way, this is the question, right? The prophets, they should be, this is not all scholars, they mentioned this, but one of the scholars emphasized on this point. The prophets, even they should be free from physical defects or some sort of, like, other people would be, annoyed or bothered. So they're very handsome. They don't have any physical problem or mental problem. So physically and spiritually, they're perfect. Is it related to conveying the message of Allah? Being, handsome, not physical defect or any problem. Maybe at the end we can discuss this too. Whoever sees them, they remember Allah. İza secede fetecellallah. So whenever Prophet ﷺ, he prostrates, he put his head on, sajda, people would see Allah is there. Allah manifests himself through the Prophet Muhammad's sajda. You see, when you see Prophet Muhammad, automatically remember Allah. His every action, every state reminds you Allah and Akhirah, Judgment Day. They're the best role models. Their superior abilities to solve the individual, social, economic, political, and cultural problems they face. So this is really important. Even right now, let's say you're a leader of community, and in your community, a lot of people, the women, children, youth, everyone is coming to you with a question. If you're not able to answer their questions and satisfy them, they go and look for or find another leader. So prophets, they have to answer, and not just answer, but satisfy all those questions. So people, they're content. No longer they need or look for another person to ask their questions. So think about Islam, think about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he was conveying the message of Allah, what type of people he dealt or he met, and what type of questions he was asked. Every time he was able to explain the matters according to level of those people's understanding. But where is it coming from? The Prophet, we know he's ummi, right? Unliterate. He was unable to read and write. He didn't go to school. He didn't learn from anyone. So we're talking about knowledge that's enough to establish entire civilization, Islamic civilization. In order to establish a civilization's minimum, I think, more than 100 years, maybe 200 years, a lot of people, scholars, thinkers from different parts of the life, they collectively work together to establish their own civilization. 23 years, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he established Islamic civilizations. Islamic civilization, every part, whether it's economic, social, individual, the matters related to family, or anything you can think. Later, Muslim scholars, they expanded, explained more and more, but everything is already there. So prophets, they satisfy all the heart, spiritual, mental, intellectual, and emotional faculties of people. This is important. Now, I'm sure it's well known, there are certain attributes every prophet within, they must have these attributes to be a prophet of Allah. So the first, indeed, according to the one scholar, the first attribute of all prophets is sidq. I put it here, communication, tabligh. Sidq. Why? Sidq, truthfulness or telling the truth, speaking the truth, is the most and the first and most attributes. Sidq. Kamil, you're going to say a few things, I think.
Otherwise, we cannot trust him.
Yes.
He has to be truthful and say always true. Everything should be true by saying this of him. If he lies, how we do trust him?
So in order to, right, you don't know someone coming and saying that I am a prophet of Allah, yes, and telling you message from unseen, ghaib, alam ghaib, okay, but how do you know if he's telling the truth or not? Sidq, check his life, if he ever lied, if ever, gave a false testimony. So sidq is really, really the essence of the prophethood. They're telling the truth, no matter what. Okay, let's go. So the 5, tabli, emane, sidq, fatane, isme, and the last part, maybe we can talk in Q&A, freedom from any mental and physical defect. All right, now questions. I think this is the.
I have a question here before this scene. There was a communication. It should be conveying the message or communication. Which one is correct expression of tabligh?
Tabligh is simply conveying the message of Allah.
And you said communication. What's the difference?
Communication, so communicating Allah's message to people, I think the real word would be conveying the message, convey a Rasul. They simply reach the message of Allah to everyone without changing, altering anything. So purely, they don't add anything from their own side. Whatever Allah asks, so they, tabligh, they convey the message in its true form.
Communication implies like the same degree people just discussing and talking each other. But the conveying the message something different from communication.
I think it's both. Because first is conveying like sun and the moon. Sun sends the lights and moon reflects the lights without putting anything from itself. This part is conveying from ayahs and the Qudsi hadith. But communication also is a part of the conveying. Because, when there is a message or when there's a ayah comes and then the company of the Prophet was discussing it, they're trying to get their lessons, their daily applications. When they don't understand this, they were asking the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and conveying is a little bit one way, reflecting as is without putting anything. But after that, communication is a mutual way, no matter what, they are in the same level or not, because one of the most important qualifications of the companies of the Muhammad, especially Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha, they were asking a lot. They weren't putting anything in their comment, they were asking a lot. Maybe that was one of their tasks, so that people can know. They were kind of opening Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to get more and more and more. That part, communication, make it better for me, maybe,
That's really good point. Thank you, Warallah. Yes, because conveying message automatically involves communication, asking questions, receiving questions. Even prophets themselves, they ask questions to Allah, right? They ask questions and Allah answered them. It's I think really important. So prophets, when they convey the message, they meet some questions. Then Allah sent another ayah explaining those questions. For example, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ, right? The people coming and asking about the human soul. Prophet ﷺ is unable to answer until he received the wahi, because he's not speaking his own. It's whatever he learns, he just conveys, but also the other part, asking questions. And sometimes, he already knows because Allah told him well, and without really waiting for another ayah, is explaining Muslims such as practicing right prayer or what's related to the fasting. Yes, for Allah.
I think here the communication should be understood as we have the communication description in our life today. At that time, I believe communication is not trying to find some missing points or denying points. The communication is to get more and more, to understand it better, to see better, and to see actually wisdom of the actions or wisdom of the orders coming from Prophet Muhammad or coming from Allah. So trying to understand wisdom or trying to find the missing points is different. The intention of the communication is really important here. The companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam always asked the question, to get more detail and to get more wisdom about the orders, about the everything, and that's also important.
Yes.
That's why the companion of the Prophet also, I believe they were kind of part of this process. That's why they called their age, the most beautiful age in the.
All right, so let's quickly summarize. I think it's we don't have how many minutes we have. Okay, there are at least 30 seconds without speaking. Just see the slides and I'll be done. Okay, I'm done.